Hello everyone and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer and today we're going to be watching the new Orisa Overwatch hero teaser, and I haven't seen it yet. I'll be watching it for the first time with you guys, but I thought you would get a kick out of the fact that last night I stayed up till almost 4 o'clock in the morning researching Effie Oladelli and learning as much as I could about her and trying to separate things that were, speculation and leaks as opposed to what Blizzard has actually given us in information, and come up with some sort of theory on who I thought she was and how she was related to the new hero. And I went, in very typical Panzer form, deep down that rabbit hole and had come out thinking that Effie Oladelli was either cybernetically enhanced or maybe she was an Omnic herself, and that, maybe this wasn't as simple as her creating the new hero, because I have a hard time with the idea of sentience in Overwatch. And that's that's a topic for a different video, but it's like, who made Zenyatta? Because we know Bastion came from a big factory, but the only other real Omnic hero we have right now is Zenyatta, and it's hard to believe that he just was cranked out of a factory. It seems like he was made with a lot more care, I guess, than someone like Bastion. And is consciousness and is sentience like a scale, or is it black and white? And if it was a scale, where would Bastion fall and where would Zenyatta fall? And if this new hero is an Omnic, where would they fall? And what about people like Genji, who are half man, half robot? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. I feel like I came out of all of that research with more questions than answers, but where I was kind of going, at the time I decided I needed to go to bed, was that I thought maybe Effie Oladelli wasn't making the new hero, and maybe, I definitely don't think, I kind of think the whole airport attack was an inside job. And the reason that I say that is because the Doomfist gauntlet was stolen around the same time, whether it was during the airport attack or whether it was in response to the airport attack, or if the airport attack was in response to Doomfist getting stolen. It all kind of happened in the same time frame-ish, and it wasn't published in the newspaper that Doomfist was missing. People noticed it on the PTR and now on live maps, but it wasn't something that was published in the newspaper, the Atlas News or whatever. So that was what was really bizarre to me and made me feel like it was some sort of cover-up job. And then not only is Doomfist missing from the payload, but the display is also powered down in the museum. And I feel like there's no reality where a team of villains is going to be like, you know what? We should make sure the museum continuity is right up to date. It seemed to me like, if Doomfist was missing and you were a government official and you didn't want people to know, whether it was missing because you moved it somewhere or it was stolen or whatever, I think the best way to prevent people from finding out would be to create a huge distraction. And, there was this big event, this attack at the airport, but miraculously no citizens were harmed, no civilian casualties, nobody was actually hurt. It was just these robots, and bonus points if you can also include your country's prodigal son-daughter in the process, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It kind of seems like a little bit of an inside job to me. And then also, while I'm here, before we get into the video, I just want the record to state that I don't think Doomfist will ever be a hero that we can play. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but based on what we know about Doomfist, the lore is whoever is wielding Doomfist can level skyscrapers. They are extremely, extremely powerful, way more powerful than any of the heroes in the game. So in order to incorporate Doomfist as a hero, they would have to really condense his abilities or her abilities and make them a lot weaker than they are in the lore, which I think does no justice to the lore. Plus, Doomfist is not a name, it is a title, president. Whoever wields the Doomfist weapon is Doomfist at the time. So far we've had the Scourge, the Savior, and the next one will be the Successor. And I do think we're going to learn more about Doomfist, and I think they may incorporate Doomfist into the game. In my opinion, I think a good idea for Doomfist would be a Juggernaut mode, where one person played Doomfist and then a team of 6 people have to fight Doomfist or whatever. I just can't see Doomfist being a real, actual hero. Double plus is that also, if Doomfist were to become a hero, that means that forever, for the rest of the lore of Overwatch, Doomfist is the same person. And I think that, I don't know, I think the idea of Doomfist being something that can be passed on and changed, and it's not this stagnant thing, is an important part of what Doomfist and who Doomfist is. So I do not think Doomfist will ever be on our hero roster. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm not upset if I end up being wrong, but that's what I think for the time being. So let's just catch up on all your thoughts. prior to seeing the thumbnail for this video, I did not think that Effie actually built the new hero, but now it seems like she definitely did, just based on the thumbnail and everything. And I also think that we're going to find out more in the future about that airport attack, and I still think it was sort of an inside job. I don't know if it was, you know, I just don't think it's as obvious as somebody stole Doomfist, then used Doomfist to beat up the OR-15s at the airport, because that would have been in the article. If somebody was wielding Doomfist and punching security robots, it wouldn't have been an unknown attacker. It would have been an unknown attacker wielding Doomfist. So I just feel like the airport attack was a cover-up or a misdirection or a distraction of some sort related to Doomfist, but I don't think it was whoever had Doomfist that actually attacked the airport. And I also it doesn't make a lot of sense either. Like, if you were going to steal this crazy artifact, I feel like grounding people and keeping them in the city is the worst thing you could do. So I think Numbani is behind the airport attack. I really do. I don't know if they were trying to maybe protect Effie, or maybe they were trying to manipulate her into hurrying up and making her security bot that she had talked about. But I don't know, man. I don't think that those two things are related in the way that people think they are. But let's, after that very long-winded intro, let's take a look at the video, which, again, I have not watched yet. So I'm super excited about this because, I don't know, man. We always see so much from these, and I really I almost like the hero teasers more than the cinematics. Like, I love Jack Morrison's, I loved Anna Amari's, and in the past I haven't done reactions to these, but I think you guys would like it because I have a weird tinfoily perspective on everything Overwatch. So let's get into this. If you want to watch it for yourself, if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to watch it with me, I'll have it linked in the info below, of course, but otherwise enjoy the cinematic journey we're about to take together. Okay, so we saw that drawing in Effie's notebook.
The world is a scary place. Even here, in Numbani, we needed something to protect us. Enter the OR-15 defense bots. They took the old Adina model from the Crisis and gave them a
Do they have 3 legs or
makeover.
4?
They
4.
kept us safe. For a while.
For a while.
I was at the airport when Doomfist attacked.
Oh!
The bots didn't stand a chance.
Doomfist did attack.
Everyone else gave up on you.
What's wrong?
But I saw what you could be. So I rebuilt you, upgraded your programming, and gave you a heart.
New personality module installed. System rebooting.
So an 11-year-old can create consciousness?
No, that's no good. Every great hero needs a real name. What about Orisa? I made you to be strong and brave. You still have a lot to learn. And you'll probably mess up sometimes. But I know you'll become the hero we need.
My name is Orisa. I will keep you safe. That is my primary function.
Okay, so interesting. I think there was a developer update that came out at the same time, which I obviously haven't watched yet, and I think watching that is going to give me a little more insight. But I'm very intrigued that, number one, an 11-year-old can create consciousness, because we've all seen Westworld. Spoilers. I'm sorry if I spoiled you just there. That was an accident. But anyways, backing up. So she created consciousness. She seems like she took one of these OR-15 bots and she upgraded it in whatever ways. She's a prodigy. She's a genius. So she upgraded this to actually contain consciousness, and it seems like it's actually capable of learning and developing in that way. So I'm interested to see how her abilities are going to translate into Overwatch. You know what? Let me pause. I'm going to go watch that developer update and see what they say, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to let you guys know what I think from there. So hold, please.
A few moments later.
All right, so I just watched the developer update, and I did film myself kind of watching that. So if you want to see that, I'll have it, I don't know, either at the end of this video or unlisted, because it's kind of long, so I didn't want to, like, bore you guys. But the TLDR is that Orisa sounds ridiculously overpowered. Her main fire is similar to Zarya's main fire, so it can shoot out, and it sounds like it's pretty far. It's like a projected, I don't think it's a beam. I think it's more of a projectile shot. Her her alternate fire works very similar to Orianna in League of Legends. So she throws it out and then she can suck people in just very, very shortly. So we saw the Tobelstein reactor on Effie's list, and it's clear that they took some inspiration from Zarya when they did that, and it was a really cute way of incorporating it. Another one of her abilities is a barrier that's sort of a mix between... It's sort of a mix almost between like Symmetra's barrier and Winston's barrier. So it's like a smaller bubble like Winston's, but she can put it wherever she wants it. And she is meant to be another option for Reinhardt. Because right now Reinhardt serves a very specific role in the game and nobody else really does. And so they wanted another hero that could add more options when you need someone like Reinhardt, but you don't necessarily want to play Reinhardt. Her ultimate sounds like it's the most challenging to use of all of her abilities. It is a it's like a drum. She takes it off of her back, she puts it down, and it does like this supercharge. And I believe it buffs all of your teammates, and it can do damage to enemies, but it also can be destroyed. So it's important that you put it within range of your team without being super noticeable to the enemy team. And I do believe line of sight is important. While I was watching this, I started to update my PTR client. So I'll have a video out very, very soon showing her in actual gameplay, probably this afternoon. But yeah, I don't know. She sounds very overpowered, and I'm really, really excited to play her. I main tanks. My main is Diva. I actually just bought golden guns for her last night, so I'm excited for a new tank hero because that's where I really feel like I fit in the Oververse. Like if I'm playing a hero, I prefer to fill the tank role. I will do kind of utility things. Like if I have to fill in, I have to play a damage, I'll generally try to fill to what we need. So if I see that they have a Pharah, I'll fill to soldier, or if we only have one healer and then we have like a Roadhog, I'll play soldier so that we have that heal. On defense, sometimes I like to play Symmetra, but overall tanks are my go-to I feel like they're my most played heroes, particularly in competitive. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to play Orisa. She seems very, very, very overpowered. It also sounds like some of these Bastion buffs were a preemptive response to Orisa. Now that we're going to have two of these, as Jeff Kaplan is calling them, anchor tanks like Reinhardt and Orisa that are really kind of pushing their team forward or holding them in place. So yeah, I am very intrigued by the entire story of all of this. I was so wrong. I was like convinced that Ify was a robot and that I don't even know. I'm also very, very, very surprised to hear that Doomfist is like this active villain. What's confusing to me about that is that we had, the Scourge, the Savior, and then the next one is the Successor. But like, if Doomfist is still being bad, how is he the Savior and not the Successor? I'm very confused by the Doomfist story right now. Unless I'm confusing it. Maybe it was the Savior, then the Scourge. That's possible as well, and this is still Scourgy. But the way that Doomfist was described was he was like an active villain that's been causing problems in Numbani, and that people knew about it and that they had given up on the OR-15. So I'm really, really intrigued to see where Doomfist's story goes from here. I think that it's safe to say that the next time we get an animated short, Doomfist will be involved. I'm very taken back by this whole situation because I guess I couldn't have been more wrong, which is, in my opinion, the best thing ever. I don't want to come out and guess something and then be right all the time. I mean, it feels good to be right occasionally, but in the same sense, you don't want to be predicting everything that happens because it takes the fun and the surprise out of the whole situation. So I guess the TLDR of this whole situation is that I am really excited to try Orisa. I have my PTR client updating in the background right now, and I'm definitely going to give her a shot, a few shots, several shots, many shots probably, but shots, everybody. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I was wrong. I was wrong. I kind of thought Ify creating the new hero was going to be a decoy. I thought it was going to be kind of like what do they call that? Is that a red herring? Is that what they call that? Like a false flag? But anyways, I am going to go and try to give Orisa a shot. She is available to play on the PTR now. If you also want to give her a shot, I will have the developer update as well as the animated kind of hero backstory in the info of this video if you would like to see more. And like I said, later on today, I will have a video actually playing Orisa and I'll see how I do. So that's all the things. Let me know if you have any thoughts thoughts on Doomfist or whatever in the info below. I would love to hear it. I'm so intrigued by the Doomfist thing. I was really not expecting to hear that Doomfist is like this active villain because I just wasn't. There's no more to it. And it also brings up a lot of interesting thoughts about like how they canceled the graphic novel because they're going in a different direction now. And I wonder if this was part of that direction. Like if they had planned Doomfist to go in a different direction, and now they're like, no, active villain happening now. And I hope I'm right about the Juggernaut mode. And I do really hope I'm right about Doomfist not being a hero. I think that there's no way for them to incorporate Doomfist as like another hero on our roster in a way that would be any justice to Doomfist lore. But those are all my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. I am going to go. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.